So there was an old joke going around northern New Brunswick in the early 70s. One parent turns the other parent. He said, I think my son is gay. He went to the movie The Swinger and wasn't turned on by Ann-Margret. So if you want to find out what sexuality your son or daughter is, show them The Swinger. Now, The Swinger is a 1966 American sex comedy film directed by George Sidney and starring Ann-Margret and Anthony Francioso. Ann-Margret in this, especially the motorcycle stand-up photo, is intense. In this one, Kelly Olsen is an aspiring writer, but Girl Lure magazine keeps rejecting her racy submissions. She decides to show the magazine boys what they are missing. She creates a fake identity for herself, pretending that a story about a young woman's wild ways is actually about herself. Girl Lure's lecherous editor, Sir Hubert, not Saint Hubert, and suave editor Rick Colby like the concept, but aren't sure they trust the facts. Kelly tries to fool them by staging an orgy in her apartment building, asking friendly tenants to go along with her scheme. Sergeant Hooker of the Vice Squad does not feel she is fooling, however, and places Kelly under arrest. Rick comes to her rescue, but when the hoax is revealed, he decides to get revenge by insisting that Kelly pose for a provocative layout for the magazine to prove she is as wild as she claims. By the time his car and her motorcycle meet head-on in the end, they're in love. So Ann-Margret plays Kelly Olsen, Antonio Francioso as Rick Colby, Robert Coote as Sir Hubert, Yvonne Almain as Karen Charles, Horace McMahon as Detective Sergeant Hooker, Nydia Westman as Aunt Cora, Milton Frome as Mr. Olsen, Mary LaRoche as Mrs. Olsen, and Corinne Cole as Sir Hubert's secretary. Written by Lawrence Roman, produced by George Sidney, and directed by him. Edited by Frank Santillo. Cinematography by Joseph L. Birac. Music by Marty Pavage, released by Paramount. 81 minutes, and considered a box office kind of semi-bomb and only made $700,000. Now, George Sidney had previously made Bye Bye Birdie and Viva Las Vegas with Ann-Margret. Sidney says the script for Viva Las Vegas had been written in 11 days in order to meet a commitment, and The Swinger was similar. We did the script in 10 days. He said the studio had a commitment and needed to fulfill it. We devised a script that would give Ann-Margret an opportunity to show her facets, and boom, boom, off we went. Filming started December 1365 and finished by March 66, after which Ann-Margret went to Vietnam to entertain the troops. Now, ironically, she was being considered for a Golden Globe before the reviews came in, but as soon as they came in, it didn't go. Film Inc. called it a hopelessly confused comedy, which feels like it was written by someone while drunk, and Tony Francioso was yet another male lead not worthy of the star, arguing this film is a vehicle geared entirely around Ann-Margret's talents, came close to killing her Hollywood career more than any other by virtue of sheer incompetence. Now, Ann-Margret did a studio album called Songs from the Swinger and Other Swingin' Songs. And again, I don't know if there's even a CD out there that you can buy. Now, the 5 songs performed by our great lady in the film, in addition to the instrumental Swingers All Day, were all included in the 66 album, Songs from the Swinger, and Other Swingin' Songs released by RCA. 6 additional were recorded for the release. The album also contains a re-recording from I Want to Be Loved, which had appeared on Ann-Margret's 63 album, Bachelor's Paradise. The title track was written by Andre Previn and Dory Previn and sung by Ann-Margret over the opening and closing credits of the film. Quincy Jones was also credited as an arranger on the album. In a review of the release, Cashbox noted that the singer sings songs for Flick the Swinger and other pop goodies. The artist creates a solid sound in this album, which could very well be a noisemaker. In 2023, Ann-Margret noted in an interview with Forbes that the track More was one of her and her husband's Roger Smith's favorites that she ever recorded. Now, songs on the soundtrack: The Swinger, Andre Previn and Dory Previn; By Myself, Arthur Schwartz and Howard Dietz; I Just Want to Make Love to You by Willie Dixon; Swingers Holiday by Marty Pavich; More by Riz Ortolani and Nino Olivero; and Cute by Neil Hefti and Stanley Stein. Side 2, You Came a Long Way from St. Louis, John Benson Brooks and Bob Russell; The Good Light, Sasha Distel and Jack Reardon; After the Lights Go Down, Phil Belmonte, Alan White, Leroy C. Lovett; I Want to Be Loved by Johnny Green, Edward Hyman, and Billy Rose; Kelly's Dance by Marty Page, as we said; and That Old Black Magic by Harold Allen and John Lee Mercer. Now, no idea how much it cost to make the movie, but I would figure it was what they call a TV movie. But the title, in the words of Robin Evans, the poster sells the movie, and this is what it says in the poster: the bunniest, not funniest, bunniest picture of the year. And no, ladies and gentlemen, to my knowledge, Ann-Margret has never been nude in any layout or whatever. But here she's very, very much the Ann-Margret look. Now, we know she rolled around in chocolate and other stuff in Tommy 9 years later. But like I said, I don't remember this movie coming to a drive-in in northern New Brunswick. And the poster was kind of confusing because you didn't really know what she was trying to say. Now, of course, Ann-Margret's assets, great singer, great dancer, but she was like, again, built like a brick shithouse. But there's here, like, the dirty redhead with the push-up bra, and she's wearing these kind of yoga pants. It was, like I said, if your son or daughter is confused by their sexuality, please show them pictures from the swinger. You will know right away what side of proverbial fence there will be on. But really stood out for me and Dad as well. There's a luminous shot of her on a motorcycle. She got red hair down well past her shoulders, and she has the like kind of a Batgirl type thing, but she's very, very in shape, and her thighs are immensely but in shape, and she's kind of looking on. She got the Ann-Margret cameo face. Like I said, it's pretty pretty freaky. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ann-Margret, the Viva Las Vegas era, as I call it, Bye Bye Birdie, she didn't know how much of an effect she had on people. But like I said, no matter if she did a comedy or a drama, for a lot of people she remained Ann-Margret because a lot of people saw through the beautiful body she had, which she did. Raquel Welch, not as much respect for some reason, but even though Raquel Welch did some good parts. But Ann-Margret, because of her real connection to Elvis, they accepted her because she went toe-to-toe literally with Elvis in Viva Las Vegas. And one time she was called a female Elvis. And seeing her in motorcycles and various means of transportation, they made a lot of young men very happy back in the day. So this movie, if you can find it, please tell me if you've seen the movie before. Give me a comment of what you felt about the movie. And the idea too is like these Benny Hill, kind of weird comedies that were big in Britain, like Double Entendre. There's no Double Entendre there. Ann-Margret pretended she was, a party girl. Anyway, that's the plot. So that's the story of 1966, The Swinger, soon to have its 60th anniversary. If you like what we're doing here with our Screenshot Ann-Margret podcast, let us know what to like, comment, subscribe, or share.